This game sucks. What a pile of anal dump.
Hey guys, this is the Game Critic, and welcome to episode 3 of Bad Games. And today's episode I'm going to talk about the Xbox One. I never thought that it would be this bad this early into its lifespan, but apparently it is. And this is probably going to be a lot shorter than my other ones, but still, before I'm going to talk about the Xbox One, I'm going to talk about because because each of the other two Xbox consoles have also had some problems, and I just want to kind of do a compare and contrast with that. Um, so with the original Xbox, of course, it had a lot of advantages. Like it was online ready right out of the box because it had a built-in. I think it had a built-in. No, it didn't have a built-in modem. It had a little Ethernet port on the back of the console. Um, Only problem was that the disk drive was temperature sensitive, which meant if you stored your games in a different temperature than the console, they might not play. And you needed an adapter to play DVD movies, and those were the only problems I had with the original Xbox. Nowadays, most of them are broken now. They have compatibility issues, which seems strange to me. And then there's the Xbox 360, and of course the problems that the Xbox 360 had right off the bat was the red ring of death. Obviously, it was like a 60% chance when they first came out that the 360 would red ring, and now and then it went down to 40%, and I don't know where that is now. But yeah, other problem with the Xbox 360 is the slim ones, the newer ones, I guess I'll call them. They don't have they don't have a part, they don't have a certain part to the disk drive. Um, they didn't have a certain part to the disk drive that like kind of that like if you like you couldn't move the game, like, you couldn't move the console while the game was in it, which I can do on pretty much any disc-based console and have no problems. But with the 360, I started really having problems with it. And the only problem I seem to have with the whole Xbox series of consoles is the online service, Xbox Live. Um, it's really good, but it comes at a price, and it's $49.99 a year, and it still has advertisements. That makes absolutely no sense to me. And the Xbox controllers are a little odd. And normally I'm used to having the analog sticks at that one spot on a controller, such as the PlayStation controllers, and that's kind of what I've been used to. Having the analog sticks reversed like that is it's really weird. But now I'm going to talk about my problems with the Xbox One. Well, um, the first problem is the Xbox One requires you to connect to the internet once every 24 hours in order to play games. That that is that is sad. That is pathetic, in my opinion. Um, you know, like PS4 is not doing that. PS4 doesn't have that whole online, that always online stuff, and the Kinect is required to work. I like the Kinect for the Xbox 360. The battery life only lasts about 5 minutes at best, and this is from personal experience. And there's a fee that you have to pay to play used games, which is incredibly stupid. Cause like PS4 is not doing that. No other console has done that, and that is I have no explanation for that whatsoever. And you have to install games with only a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and once the games library starts going up, if it ever does, that's going to be a big problem. Because most games that I know of take up at least 20 gigs, They can go up to 20 gigs at least, and that's not gonna work. It's also too big. The Xbox One is a really big console. It's, oh my gosh, like I think it's almost as big as the Atari 5200 or maybe the CDI. It's pretty huge. And it's never fully turned off unless you unplug it from the wall. I don't really know who thought this was a good idea, but they must have been on something when they thought of that. Makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, why can't you just have a simple power switch or a power button? Better yet, have the controller turn the console on for you. Makes absolutely no sense to me. And the games are region locked, which I think we've gotten rid of by now, because PSP games aren't region locked, and to my knowledge, PS Vita games aren't region locked. PS3 stopped doing region locks, and that makes absolutely no sense to me. And even PC games have are region free. I can download a PC game from Europe or play a PC game from Europe. As a matter of fact, I do have a PC game from Europe. Yeah, right here. This is the Age of Mythology game with the expansion. This was imported all the way from France. Okay, and I can play it on my North American PC. So I don't understand the whole problem with region lock, but it's gotta stop, seriously. And game purchases are final without refunds, and this was thought up by Microsoft. They must have been on drugs when they thought of that, because nobody wants no refunds. You want to get your money back if you haven't spent it wisely. And you still have to pay for online to play your games, even if it's a single player game. Why? You're not using the online if you're just playing a single player game. That makes absolutely no sense. And that is probably why it's going to fail epically. And in fact, it's still failing epically. Let's see. And it's got the saddest collection of exclusive games of all time. Rise, Son of Rome, and Forza Motorsport 5 are the only two good games I can say I really enjoyed with it. And Halo 5 has not come out yet, so Microsoft is kind of hurting here. They're kind of hurting in the market, and I really don't have an explanation for that besides the fact that the games lineup is terrible. There hasn't been a Gears of War game in at least in a while. And it's $499, which is way too expensive. I mean, yes, consoles come out for outrageous prices, but the PS4 had come out 5 days before the Xbox One, and it was only set at $399. Albeit the PS3 was $599. The PS3 was $599. And, well, alright, you know what's coming.
$599 US, $599 US, $599 US.
Giant enemy crab.
$599 US.
Now that we got that joke out of the way, let's continue. Anyway, with the PS3 coming out at $599, it was a pretty outrageous price. The 3DO back in '93 came out for $699. But you would think that these consoles would come out for a cheaper price. The Ouya is $99, and you can download all the games for free. That is probably the bargain of this generation. And the highest priced console is the Xbox One, of course. The $499 I'm not willing to fork over for something that could possibly break and has all the problems I've listed. So, and I probably pissed off a lot of Xbox fanboys by saying all this stuff, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate mail for this, but you know what? I honestly don't care. It's my opinion, and if you don't like it, that's your problem. So, yeah. So that concludes episode 3 of Bad Games. So take care, happy gaming, and this has been another presentation on the Arcade Productions. Remember, subscribe, comment, like my videos, and if you have any bad games recommendations, go ahead and leave it in the comments section, or shoot me a personal message. I'm not picky, so just in any way you feel is best. Go ahead and shoot me a request, and I will do a request for your selected game if I feel if I feel a certain distaste for it, or it can also be a console also. So yeah. So see ya.